Tôi xin trân trọng kính chào quý vị khán thính giả. Kính thưa quý vị, trong chương trình ngày hôm nay chúng tôi xin được tiếp chuyện với hai vị khách ngoại quốc đến từ xa. Thưa quý vị, đây là một cái cuộc nói chuyện lần đầu tiên mà chúng tôi xin được phỏng vấn nhà làm phim Ken Wang. Thưa quý vị, Ken Wang là một nhà làm phim ở bên Úc Châu. Ông vừa mới hoàn tất xong một cuốn phim tài liệu về Pháp Luân Công với tựa đề là Free China. Và ngồi kế bên ông đó là nhà làm nhạc, thưa quý vị, nhạc sĩ Tony Chen. Và anh cũng đã sáng tác một số nhạc phẩm cho cuốn phim tài liệu Free China. First of all, I would like to say congratulations for making Free China. It's a great movie. It's an incredibly powerful and very interesting documentary that I think all Vietnamese, abroad Vietnamese American will be interested to see. As you can probably imagine, many of us Vietnamese are very concerned about human rights, both in Vietnam and in China, and your documentary definitely, clearly focuses on that issue. First of all, can you say something to our viewers watching this interview today?
Sure. Well, firstly, Victoria, thank you for having Tony and I on the show on SBT, and it's our first time, so it's a great day for us to be able to share, I guess, this important human rights issue with the wider audience. I mean, at the moment, 1.3 billion people in China are still being suppressed by communism in many different facets. We see kind of the economic progress that has definitely benefited, obviously, now the middle upper class, a lot of the Communist Party members and business people and whatnot. But still, so many hundreds of millions are still terribly suppressed, and it's affecting everyone. The communist reach and the dictatorial power is reaching out to all different countries, and affecting Vietnam as well. I'm sure you can share more about that. So it's good to be on the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Tony?
Yes, it's very true. I believe that it's not an issue of like a political issue, but I think it's a moral issue. So I think everyone knows these kind of things. We should say no to any kinds of violence, any kinds of lies, or any kind of political propaganda for the communist governments. Yes.
The film was very intriguing. I saw it last night. And to start off, I know that many of our audience, they know about the Falun Gong movement. Please correct me if I said it wrong.
No, it's fine.
But can you give us a quick overview about the Falun Gong movement and what its main principles are?
Sure. Falun Gong started spreading in China in 1992.
20 years ago?
Yeah, about 20 years ago. And the founder of the practice, teacher Li Hongzhi, started this practice. The simplest way to describe it, it's a form of self-improvement, has kind of Buddhist, Taoist origins. There's meditation, there's like Qigong, like Tai Chi exercises.
I have friends who practice Qigong.
Yes.
It's a kind of exercise because in Asian Chinese believe that mind and body are kind of connected. So that means if you have, say, you feel very depressed, it physically affects your health. So that means this exercise is based on the truthfulness, compassion, tolerance, so that you improve your character first, so that you get better health. So that's basically the idea of the exercise, to improve yourself spiritually, to get better health through 5 sets of exercises.
That's right.
And can you talk about the 5 sets of exercises, how important it is for the Falun Gong practitioners?
Sure. Give an example. The first exercise, it's simple. It only takes about a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, but you can repeat it 3 times, and you just stretch. You open up the energy channels in the body. I mean, the first thing you do in the morning is you stretch, right? But this is a very coordinated stretching, very simple. And the second exercise is a standing meditation. So once you've opened up all the qi energy channels, you strengthen them through these 4 postures, standing meditation. You can do the standing meditation for a few minutes up to even half an hour, depending on how much time you have. The third exercise, you're expelling the negative qi out, and you're drawing the positive energy in, right? And the fourth exercise, you circulate the qi. So you do a very simple motion, bending down.
To balance your body?
Correct. You can circulate the positive qi. Falun heavenly circuit. And the final exercise is the sitting meditation. So you can meditate for 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on your schedule. So it's all very flexible, depending on your day-to-day routine.
And I assume, Tony, that you are one of the Falun
Yes,
Gong
I do Falun
practitioners.
Gong exercise. Yes.
How long have you both been
I have
participating in
started
this?
to reading Falun Gong's book and studied the exercises since to the end of 2002. Yes.
So it's been 10 years?
10 years.
Yes,
A
in 10
decade.
years. Since then, I feel that it has improved me a lot, both in character and also my major, my profession in music.
Really?
Yes.
Improve in what way when you talk
Well,
about your professions?
Like sometimes if you do music, nowadays I feel that the musicians is trying to follow in the feelings. But the feeling is kind of something that's not stable. So sometimes you don't know where the feelings lead you,
okay.
right? But through practice, because practice Falun Gong needs you to be very clear-minded. You need to focus on your mind very clearly, so you don't not let other distractions. So that means that you need to be, say, very rational about music, and then rational first, and then the feelings.
Wow.
So that means I can compose lots of other kinds of music, like film music, movie music, so that I can have very clear mind on how to structure it and how to create the feeling that I want. But if I don't do Falun Gong practice before, I was kind of person that never want to touch the music theory and just
Really?
wanted to follow the feelings.
Interesting.
Very
Yes.
interesting because I have some friends who's
Yes.
also studied the Falun Gong too, and they seem very happy, very positive.
Yes.
Just very mellow, just about life. And when I watched this film last night, I mean, one of the questions that I've had for years is that why the Chinese government is so afraid of the Falun Gong. And after watching this film, it feels like they're more threatened. They feel more, afraid and threatened by the practitioners, the Falun Gong practitioners. For the government to react so aggressively against the Falun Gong, they must be really afraid of this group. And I don't understand, why is that?
That is a great question. We get that question a lot. People don't understand why you're just a peaceful meditation, kind of Buddhist type of practice. Why do they persecute you? Why put millions of people in jail and torture, so many people?
And killed so many
people as well.
Right.
I mean, it's
the organs
shocking.
being targeted.
Right,
Yes.
and it's addressed in the
Yes.
film too.
Absolutely. And I tell people, number one, it grew so fast. There were tens of millions of practitioners, and the government
Within a short amount
within a very
of
short period,
time.
like 10 years, right? 7 years, and the internet spread it as well for free. People could learn online completely free, download all the audio, video, text for free, and the government, I guess, reacted in a very kind of knee-jerk reaction. They were fearful that it could go so big that they couldn't control it. You know how with communism and dictatorship, they want to control everything. And then secondly, the basic principles of truthfulness, being honest, compassion, and tolerance is complete antithesis, the complete opposite of what they believe in.
Because they believe that kind of violent revolution. So if everyone's saying truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance, whenever you come across a conflict, you need to be tolerant of each other. But Communist Party wants you to fight,
being fearful.
Correct.
Right?
and to struggle between people.
Right.
So that prevents Chinese Communist Party theory to put into practice.
To run by fear and through lies and corruption. Can you imagine? Because people inside the party were getting old, health was declining, and they all of a sudden started doing these exercises.
Hold on to that power.
Correct. Yeah. And some of them actually started liking and practicing Falun Gong within the elite. There's all the cross-section of society started practicing, from farmers to professionals to party members even. And then the people who are really hardliners, who are really the most corrupt and violent members, they became fearful that if all of a sudden these other members would be more honest, becoming more honest, be more kind and more tolerant, their own corruption and all their human rights abuses would be exposed. And that would be obviously an indirect threat to their legitimacy and to their own, not being thrown in jail. They didn't want to be obviously thrown in jail. So they then realized they had to suppress it. They used obviously the excuse of it's some sort of evil cult, and they use that so much that most people, when they hear about Falun Gong, even till this day inside China, a good majority, I would say, still think that Falun Gong is some evil cult.
Bad.
Because it's all the media. Imagine every single TV network, radio,
state-controlled.
Because it's just one media outlet. It was all saying these terrible things about Falun Gong for years.
And also before the practitioners, Falun Gong practitioners can respond to that, they destroy all the books in every family.
Everything,
That's right. Yeah.
So that you don't have any sources to say, to really look at what Falun Gong is.
Right, right.
So,
very,
yes.
I mean, after seeing this film, it reminded me of the Vietnamese Communist government. Of course, the Vietnamese government is their puppet. So the Chinese government control the Vietnamese government. That's why they run in the same control state fashion.
That's
and
right.
they don't want to hold on to their power. They don't want the people to have their own thinking, to be open-minded, to understand more about, you know, staying healthy, being kind to people around you. I think things like that just scares them. That's why it's scary. Xin quý vị khán thính giả vẫn tiếp tục giữ màn hình SBTN. Chúng tôi sẽ trở lại sau phần quảng cáo thương mại.
Xem tập 2 của Camry One and Only. Hãy tìm trên mạng chữ Camry One.